Good morning, good morning. Yeah, we are here. What do you guys think the squad does? It features these two. The double steel dragons. But what's it do? It's going to be Scarf Duraludon. Choice Scarf Duraludon with Brick Break that procs Dialga Weakness Policy. And remember, because we have Stalwart as our Duraludon's ability, we don't have to worry about Rage Powder or Redirection from Follow Me. We just get to break our Dialga's policy, activate it, and Dialga just pops off and destroys people. Also, on like turn 2, if they set screens on turn 1, we just break those walls down with the Duraludon Choice Scarf next turn. It's actually a pretty cool squad. You don't do that much Dialga with Brick Break, even though Duraludon has like an 85 base attack. But I think Duraludon's a cool mon. Also, like if we decide to like G-Max it and go for the big G-Max depletions, if we pair that with Pressure Dialga, right, we're able to really run through our opponent's PP really fast. So if they're using things like Water Spouts, Astral Barrages, Glacial Lances, Behemoth Blades, moves that only have like 5 PP that can get boosted to 8 from, you know, PP ups and PP maxes, we can actually tear through that stuff super fast. So this squad is overall pretty cool. You can always just go like Indeedee Calyrex or Indeedee Dialga or Indeedee Lecky. There's so many different leads you can do that don't feature the Duraludon, but I do think the Duraludon is a really cool mon that hasn't been used in a really long time, and it's a lot better than people give it credit for when used correctly. These are my games coming back from Great Ball, going to Master Ball. I played these on July 1st, so that's why we're showing them right now. And the first game's going up against Weezing Gigas, and I'm thinking to myself, like, I don't have a good matchup against that. You know, you'd think the guy that brought Weezing Gigas to the Milwaukee Regionals has all the, like, you know, Weezing Gigas plushes and Weezing Gigas this, Weezing Gigas that, and I was like, I didn't respect Weezing Gigas in the team preview. I got no Zacian, I got not that many big fighting attacks. Like, I'm like, oh, this is terrible. And so I'm looking at this and I'm like, I literally have one way to, like, you can see I'm floundering. I'm like, what do I lead? What do I even do? Like, what would you do? What would you lead against Weezing Gigas in this situation if you were using this exact team? And it's not just Weezing Gigas. It's like Weezing Gigas, Shadow Rider, Zacian, double fake out support. So oppressive. Because, like, I'm thinking to myself, they could just not bring the Weezing Gigas. Those bottom 4 are just a really good team. You'd say Indeedee Dialga and go like Trick Room. There's nothing wrong with that. But what if they want to go with a slower game and lead like Shadow Rider and Sin? It'd be really hard, right? It'd be super hard. And you're probably not wrong in going for that. Yeah, how's it going? Person putting up the big Butterfree emo. You can also max the Dialga. I think max Dialga is good. We actually fight like a few Weezing Gigases today, so you're gonna see a few different flowcharts versus Weezing Gigas. But like, look at this. And also, you know I gotta be using my boy Duraludon. You know I gotta use Duraludon. I think I use it. I think I still bring it. Yeah, look at this. I'm forcing myself to bring Duraludon because it's the first game. I want to feature it, right? That's the whole point of this little series, is featuring these Pokemon. And also, you know, I got to beat the Weezing Gigas. And so I theory crafted like one way that I might be able to beat the Weezing Gigas. Just one. I'm going all in. Does anyone know what it is? You'll get the big hypes up, yo. Big hype for this. What do you guys think it is? What would you do if this is your lead versus this board? I don't know what that code is over there. Hey, how's it going? It's going pretty good. Guess they protect Weezing. I think they're going to protect Weezing too. Look at this. So I'm thinking I can just go with the Electro Web. But I'm thinking I can max. I was like, man, I'm so boned here. But what would you do? I feel like this is the only out. Because like realistically, I was trying to catch more of like an Incin lead with this lead, and I was going to try to pin the Incin and stuff like that. And so what I tried to do, I don't know why someone's like spamming the chat. Anyways, what I decided to go with was max the Cali. So I decided to max the Cali, and I think I double targeted the Gigas. But did you see what move I used on Lecky? I feel it's my only out, because obviously they're maxing. If they protect the Weezing, like, I would protect Weezing in this situation too. That way you get, like, 2 turns worth of, like, you know, Weezing Gigas at least. So they max the Gigas. And I feel like there's nothing else that I could realistically have done in this situation. So there's the Protect Weezing. Who do you think you'll start with in Scarlet and Violet? Whichever Pokemon I can beat the game the fastest with. The Thunder. Right? And... oh, yeah. Yeah. We take those. Big Para on the Gigas. And, hold on, like, and look at that damage. That's so much damage. It's ridiculous, right? Feels bad, Gigas. And then the full Para. I'm like, I don't see any other option. Realistically, they would have, like, max striked. And even if they didn't get parried, like, full parried, the fact that I got the speed control from the Thunder, which is why I did it, you know? I guess I could have went Electro up and traded, but, like, I wouldn't have had enough damage, because now I could potentially, like, outvalue the Gigas, right? Because now the Weezing's Protect's on cooldown, and I'm in a good spot. But just because I hit my Thunder and got a full para doesn't mean we're out of this one yet. You may think, wow, that's just so lucky. He hit a 70% accurate move, and he got the 30% chance para, and he got the full para. Well, you're going to start seeing that I start missing, like, all my Electro Webs. And I'm just the saddest person in the world, right? Realistically, in that situation, I like that I still went for the Gigas, but, like, missing an Electro Web on Weezing means we might not get the KO on it if we wanted to go for, like, a Max Mindstorm into it next turn, just because, like, it could still technically be sashed Weezing. So, a lucky giveth, a lucky taketh away. I know, right? Never lucky. This also does give us a Grimnay boost in our Shadow Rider, so that's pretty dope. And they're out of Max Mons. Like, I still can't believe I got out of that, like, relatively unscathed, but it is what it is. And, yeah, we're just gonna keep it going here. Gonna keep it going. Give me one moment. There we go. Alright. Here we go. Big Zacian Energy. Zacian's a good mon. Not necessarily in this situation. And, yeah, look at the same thing. Like, we can just super chill. I think the Phantasm at +1 does KO Zacian. I'd like to get a little bit of extra damage from a Lecky. But, y'all know how Lecky do be. It did all of its work. They popped the Protect Zacian. I'm not really afraid of anything Weezing can do to a Shadow Rider. So it's a second Electro Web. And this one hits the Weezing. So that's good. But I wanted just a little bit more damage on the Zacian, you know? Because sometimes Zacians can be built like heavy bulk. Like, I'm personally a fan of bulk Zacian too. The cool thing about this, though, is the fact they took like that much means they're going to be... And this is also my last max turn, right? So now, not only do I keep the +1 I got for KOing the Gigas, but I regain my +1 from my choice specs. So it's like, so nice. And we eat a Sludge Bomb, and never lucky. Yeah, it is Web without Transistor, it is. I'm Life Orb, though, so it's a lot of damage. But you can see, like, the Astral Barrage is just massive right now. Evil, how's it going? And you can see there's not that much we really have to do. I think it's so important to PP Max stuff. I asked for people to submit teams on Patreon recently, and I've noticed that, like, every single rental code that people are submitting for me to use, they're submitting me Calyrexes, Zacians, Kyogres. All of them don't have PP Maxes, and they only have 5 PP, and I was like, do you know how much you automatically lose the game if someone uses, like, Protect once and there's, like, a Pressure Mon somewhere? Oh, it's terrible. This guy tried to go for the Quick Attack, and, Wumao, like, the Psychic Terrain, bailed my Lucky out of that one. And then, yeah, look at this easy peasy lemon squeezy. But yeah, it was, I feel we totally stole this one by getting the Thunder Para on the Gigas. That's why I still wanted to include it, because, like, I felt it was the only real out that I had. Like, realistically, I don't think it would have went well if I would have anything else. So I'll just take the KO on the Zacian, right? Take the KO on the Zacian, took the KO on the Gigas. I think they still had their Shadow Rider in the back, right? And so I'm thinking, like, okay, this is fine, right? You have a Weezing, you have a Shadow Rider. Lecky. All you gotta do is hit this last Electro Web. Hit this one last Electro Web. Game over. It'd be easy peasy. So I'm sitting there thinking, like, he's going to miss, isn't it? Like, we've already missed one Electro Web. You got to go for it, right? Regular use Electro Web. Straight up just misses on the Shadow Rider. That's the most crushing Electro Web miss of all time, I think. Never lucky. Not only does it not... Yeah, we actually win the speed tie with our Shadow Rider here. Not only does it not get the speed drop, though, it doesn't break Sash. So it's still up. And now, yes, we kill the Weezing. But... the Shadow Rider's about to just rinse us over. You know? Oh, man. What a game, right? What a game. So we missed 2 Electro Webs that have been massively important. But it's okay, I still have Mons in the back, right? I still got Duraludon. I think I brought Indeedee in this game. So, like, I'm still good, right? Gonna get the double Grimnay all the way. And so we're gonna send out, I think, like I said, I think I have Dura and Indeedee. And I didn't want to reactivate that Psychic Terrain. Because, like, they could actually just click Expanding Force and probably get a double KO. Is Sash Dura faster? Scarf Dura is faster by 1 point. So, yes, Scarf Dura is faster. And this is actually really funny. You know, I'm going to show you guys that Steel Beam is the worst move in the game. I'm going to show you guys it's the worst move in the game. And I would have understood more about the mechanics that I learned about this move if I actually hit this one. It's a 95. So I'm thinking, alright, I've missed 2 Electro Webs. I just gotta hit this. Nope. Nope. You still take half. But we'll save the tip that I learned about that move for a little bit later. Steel Beam is worse mind-blowing in every way. I agree. Steel Beam is the worst move in the game. I would agree. We do still get the win. Just barely. But double miss Electro Web into miss Steel Beam. Holy moly. It doesn't get much never lucky than that, right? Yeah, we take those. I just wanted to see what Steel Beam looked like. So, we're going into another game. And this guy's Zacian Ogre Lando Wims. But yeah, I think it's really funny that, like, Steel Beam, it's different than Mind Blown. It's different from, like, other recoil moves. Yo, happy 4th. Hope I win the Vaporeon Articuno cards. Yeah, like I said, the giveaways today, it's going to be a lot of fun. And we're going to do the random giveaway, like, in probably an hour. And it's going to be a good time. So we see Wims Lando, which I actually think is a really good lead versus this squad. Because you can go Tailwind and Airstream, and it's really, really hard to deal with. What ability was that Weezing? It was Neutralizing Gas. It was the big Neutralizing Gas in that Weezing. So I like Wims versus Wims in certain situations. I'm thinking to myself, like, I'm fine versus most things here. No matter what they do, I think we're okay. So we just switch in the Indeedee. Oh, I love this, man. I'm thinking to myself, like, do we switch in Indeedee? Because, like, I could just switch in Indeedee and Expanding and just win the game. And no, I think it's safer probably just to Astral and Tailwind this first turn. And then I could Encore Orlando if it does something weird. If I just take out the Lando, though, I think I'd win. I don't remember that exactly how this game goes. But yeah, we popped the Tailwind up. We can't just be having them Tailwind us. Oh, yeah, I think I remember this one. Did I get Trick Roomed this time? I'm trying to remember. Yeah, I think they Trick Roomed me. Yeet. Get out of here, Lando. Get out of here, Lando. Oh my gosh, Calyrex is so busted. Didn't even crit. That's just how much damage that does. That's just so busted. Oh, they Moonblast. They could have Trick Roomed me. They didn't. I think I get Trick Roomed sometime today. And, of course, they crit me back, right? And they special attacked up. So we're back down to neutral, right? We have a +1 from our specs, but, man, just think about how over this game would have been if I was sitting there with my +2 Cali with a Tailwind up. And if I was, like, not crit by a Moonblast, I'd be able to just one-shot this Ogre out the game. So we don't want them to get Tailwind up. Do I Encore the Wims here? That'd be a good play for me. Because, like, we'd be able to Encore before their Tailwind because we're the ones with speed control. Oh, look at me. Making the right plays for days. Making the right plays for days. And they just scoop it up. Oh, yeah, that was a fun game. They just completely scooped that one up. That was a turn 2 victory. I forgot that one even existed. Yeah. So you can see, like I said, this is my road back to Master Ball. Ditto. Ditto's really hard to deal with. And Dialga mirrors are really hard to deal with, right? Working on the holiday. Good morning. That's a thank you for stopping by. Grimnay boost with Weezing on board. Grimnay's not affected by neutralizing gas. So there you go. Answers your question right there. Grimnay's literally built different. That's the explanation as for why. It can't get turned off. It's like, it's one of those weird ones. Yeah, but you can see in this lead, I'm like, I don't like any of this. I don't see a way that you win this one. There's too many best of one gimmicks on that team. Literally, that team is like 4 best of one gimmicks. What is it? Gothitelle, Sableye, Ditto, Porygon 2, and then like 2 super solid defensive steel restricteds. So it's like, ugh. Yeah, as one is unaffected by the Weezing ability. That's the ability that Calyrex has. Not to be that guy. No, it's okay. It's okay. You could be that guy. I'm still waking up. I'm so freaking tired, guys. I'm so tired. But yeah, Dialga's an awkward matchup here. Do I try and go for the Dura? Did I lead Dura? Do I just lead Dura and Dialga? Am I that guy? Oh, I did it. Okay, cool. Look at this. So remember, the whole point of this team is I have like the Brick Break, and you can't ally switch me or do any shenanigans here. I can just go for my Brick Break, and I will not be stopped. And if I want to Brick Break you, I can Brick Break whoever I damn well choose. No ally switch here. So I'm thinking to myself, like, if this is a Trick Room Dialga, like, I could win. Right? If they're going, like, fake out Trick Room and they fake out the wrong target, I just win. So I'm thinking to myself, maybe I just win. And then I saw this. Their Dialga is faster than mine. And I'm like, oh, why? This is a Trick Room team. Beanie, how's it going? And so I'm thinking to myself, like, their board's like Goth, Porygon 2, Dialga. Why are they like fast Dialga? My Dialga is fast, by the way. Right? My Dialga is actually pretty fast. It's fast enough to like capitalize off of Tailwinds and like Electro Web speed drops on other restricteds. So I'm thinking to myself, like, what the hell? Like, why is there a fast Dialga Goth lead here? Because my plan was to proc my policy and then just one-shot their Dialga before they get their Quake boost. You see I'm going for my Brick Break. Dura's fast enough. Yo, thank you, Mr. Doe. Dropping the big sub, 21 months. I'll put some subs up for that. I will be putting some subs up for that. Thank you, my friend, for stopping by. Hope you're having a wonderful day. But yeah, you see, they hit me now. And I'm at 6. I'm built different. But I got this def boost now. Like, ugh. I ate a Life Orb Helping Hand boosted Max Quake, by the way, with my Dialga. That just shows how bulky I am. And I think we would have gotten the KO if we just soaked that damage and like attacked with Thura before they got their Quake boost. Like, we would have just went for like a Draco Meteor into that slot and soaked the damage, we probably gotten it off the board. Remember, I can't switch, and so I'm like, I'm just gonna hit this Goth to break Sash to unlock the ability for a Shadow Rider to come out. I'm like, what are you gonna do, Gothitelle? Are you gonna use Ally Switch? Thanks for the consistent work you put out here. Yo, thank you so much for the sub. I do appreciate that. It means a lot. It means a whole heck of a lot, and I'm happy to have you here on this wonderful day. But I'm like, what are you going to do? Ally Switch? I got Stalwart, bro. You can't see me. I mean, that's what Gothitelle was going to try and do. It's going to like, boop, 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 Ally Switch, and I'm like, nope. I hit who I choose. And I'm totally stuck here. I'm like a Scarf Duraludon. I can't switch. I just... oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm just trying to get like good damage and waste their max turns, right? I think that's a good play. They do go for the ally switch, which is really funny. But another play that happens here, right? They go for the ally switch, which means, you know that like Simpsons meme where you like don't know that you're in danger? You know, like Ralph's like, I'm in danger. That's this guy. He even didn't take the bait and Quake. He just still hits Dura. Can you believe that they hit Dura there? Just straight up ignores the Dialga. That's it, +2. Just ignores a +2 Dialga. What a guy. Holy moly. And you're like, but he clicks ally switch. It's like, you would have lost something. You know, you would have literally lost one of those mons. And I'm looking at myself like, oh, I'm just going to be fine. I have Shadow Rider. And I was like, I didn't freak Shadow Rider. I'm an idiot. And so I lose, you know. Yep, I'm like, crap. There's like nothing you can do in this situation if you're me. Yeah, this is the end of the road for this one. I don't remember why, but I felt that like my Dialga was going to outspeed theirs, finish theirs off, and then from there I would use the other two Mons. Like the Indeedee was going to come out after the Dura, because I was pretty sure they were going to go after the Dura, and I'd be able to redirect and support the Dialga, and the Wims was there in case I wanted to give the Dialga the speed boost. I was expecting Blacephalon team for the holiday, but I definitely prefer Duraludon. I've used Blacephalon before on 4th of July. 4th of July like videos and 4th of July streams usually don't do very well. Like holiday streams and videos, just people spend holidays with their friends and families, not on YouTube, usually, I've noticed. So yeah, we just have to take the most massive L the world's ever seen. And that's basically it, you know. Look at that massive outplay, by the way. They had the Hailstorm this whole time. Like, literally, you know they quaked the Duraludon last turn? They could have literally just Hailstormed it. And they didn't. Like, why didn't you... Like, this person's either, like, the biggest brain galaxy god, or they've, like, narrowly avoided every loss possible by the skin of their teeth for, like, 3 turns in a row. So it's funny. Maybe they didn't think Hailstorm would KO, but, like, it's a Dura. You know, it's, like, it has, like, 50 base Spadef. And they know it's Scarfed. Holy moly, Royal Guard gifted! How many subs is that? How many? I can't even scroll that high. 20 gifted subs! Oh my gosh! Yo! 20 though! What? A hype train's close, guys. Oh my gosh, 20 subs! Ah! I knew I didn't get to stream yesterday. Can we put some subs up for this? Guys, can we just fill the screen with the subs, please? Can we please? For Royal Guard's sake. Bunch of subs. Holy moly, that's a lot of subs. A lot. Pika Trainer also gifted 5 subs on my favorite day of the year, 4th of July. Thank you. Thank you. It's hype train time. Oh my goodness. Yo, we do be taking these. I haven't lost this game yet, but I'm still lost. 100 bits for Beanie as well. Yo, put some Butterfree Beanie. Oh man, everyone's helping out. Everyone's helping out. Thank you guys. Wow, Royal Guard, thank you so much. Starting things off strong. 20 big gifted subs. We're back at level 5 on the hype train. Pika Trainer, my MVP as well. Oh my gosh. And Beanie, the bits. Thank you, friends. I can't even say thank you enough. That definitely makes my day. And anyone that got gifted a sub, be sure to say thank you. Be sure to say thank you to Pika Trainer and Royal Guard. They're absolutely amazing. Be sure to check out the Discord and link your Discord with Twitch. We actually plan on hosting 2 Twitch subscriber tournaments this month. And there's a Patreon tournament at the end of this week too. There's so much going on. We go back to the game. Look at this guy's team. I really like the... Oh, hold on. So you see this guy's team. It has Cart, right? Hold on. Do you remember this game? Where was it? Yeah, right here. So, do you remember the guy that we beat in like 2 turns? Where is it? We fought this guy already, basically is what I want to say. We fought this guy already. I think it was the guy after Gigas that had like a 2-turn game. Let me see. There's no Boldos. Yeah. So this guy, we already fought him, right? Yeah, right here. So his team, he switched out like a couple of his mons. He had like Lando and he had like Wims Amoonguss, right? And then he switched it out for Sin Thundi. So it's funny how I fought him like right after just sending him to the Shadow Realm a little bit earlier. So here we go. This is his run back game. His salty run back. Let's see if it works. Yeah, you can always use rentals though too. I think rentals are a good place to look for teams as well. So this time they lead with Zash and Kyogre, the double restricted. And I lead with I want my run back, like because remember the last Goss game we played, it didn't actually work, you know? It didn't work with, when I went up against the other Dialga. Duraludon's defense stat is so good. Yeah, its special defense stat is not great though. But I actually like this sort of board for us. And so I love the fact we have Thunder on this Dura. It just makes us such a bully. Look at this damage. Yeah, VGC Pace on Twitter. That's another good one too. Liberty Note. They're going to switch out their Zacian. Their Zacian's literally scared right now. Literally, it's terrified of us. And then speaking about terrified, I'm about to be given this Dundee Defiant procs. So just going to be maxing the big Dura. Sorry, maxing the big Dialga. We max Duraludon a little bit later. We do be maxing Duraludon a little bit later. Alright. Big Dialga. I think Dialga is such a good mon. I know I went through a phase where I used like only Dialga teams for like a month. Like only Dialga Grim. And so I was like, I'm going to use Dialga. It's been long enough. You know what I need to use again is Torkoal. And so it looks to be a vested Kyogre, right? Doesn't that look to be vested? It ate that Thunder super well. Here we go. Boom. So that was a good play. You know, not only did they not lose a Pokemon, but they potentially switched in and got a potential Defiant proc on that Thundurus, and they haven't maxed yet. So really, really good play. Like you can see, that's probably they probably like theory crafted that. They knew I was going to go for a Wyrmwind or a Max Quake into the Zacian. So like either way, great switch in there. Really, really good play from our opponent. And I'm like, that's fine. That's okay. It's no big deal. The Kyogre is pretty neutered, you know, at this point. It's like weak. So we don't really need to even go after it. I'm trying to remember if they max the... I think they maxed Thundee here, right? But there's the big Thundee. And we already know the Vest is on the Ogre, so it's not like we have to respect Vest Thundee at all either. So that's pretty good. So here we go. Did we go for the Thunder? Do I respect the Kyogre? I shouldn't have. I should have hit that Thundee. I guess I just take it out, you know. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with taking that thing out. I should have hit the Thundee, though. Do I just one-shot this Thundee? Airstream. Yo, let's go. Goodbye, Duraludon. And that's fine, because, like, realistically, we were, like, scarfed. So it's like we didn't have anything else to be doing. But let's see. Do I just one-shot this? No way. I didn't get a Policy proc. It's orbed. I'm trying to remember if I just one-shot it. No. I think I fought against a Thundee when I was testing this team, and I did. I think I crit the Wyrmwind, and I just one-shotted it. But that's a second Defiant proc, so right now this thing's sitting pretty. And I'm like, well, that was the full life. Except for I'm still fine. Except for I'm still fine. I think we still outspeed the Thundee with the +2 Dialga. Actually, no, I don't remember if this Dialga outspeeds Thundee in this exact situation if I Tailwind. It's hard to say. Either way, there's not that much that Thundee can actually do to Dialga without proccing my Policy. So we just Tailwind up, and this also just lets me get a board state that if I can deal with that Thundee in any way, Shadow Riders comes out and wins the game. Because remember, we already took out the Kyogre, which is like the bulky thing that would stop the Shadow Rider in this situation. So all we gotta do is not let them get a ton of speed control, and then we're good to go. But yeah, the Thundee's at +2, right? +2 attack, +1 speed. Oof. The good thing is it doesn't stab any of its fighting attacks, so Dialga's like absolutely fine. Imagine if like Thundurus had like Earthquake. How terrible that would be. So there's the Tailwind up. Big Tailwind Whims energy. And big Airstream. Enjoy some fireworks day, that's the plan. That is the plan. Yeah, the Airstream just doesn't do it in this situation. It just does not do it to Dialga. And I think you can double into the Dialga with like a Sacred Sword, but I just don't think it gets it. Do I play Clash Royale? I do not. I don't play any of those weird games, or any of those sort of games like that. Going for the raw Behemoth Blade. Boom. Dialga's so thick. This Dialga set is like, because we're Policy, we can be afforded the luxury to cut like a ton of special attack on this thing and put it just all into bulk. And so getting that Thundee off the board, they have a +1 Zacian, which I'm really not that afraid of. Like a +1 speed Zacian, because like we just bring out Shadow Rider and we're fine. So this guy's run back looks like it's not going completely according to plan. But it looks like it's not going completely according to plan. There's the Amoonguss, and I'm like, ha! Amoonguss among us? Not today. I have the power of Whimsicott. And again, I still have the Shadow on the back, so all we need to do is like correctly utilize our Tailwind turns. We just don't want to like lose our Whims. I should realistically just probably protect here. Yeah, I should protect the Whims. Am I getting a Giga Drain to break Sash? That's also fine. Do I Steel Beam? That'd be funny. Oh, I think I thought about it. Oh, man. There's the Giga Drain. Yeah, we just want to break Sash. And we would like to get the Amoonguss off the board if possible, but it's not the end of the world. So oh yeah, look at this. So this is a cool thing. They have to say, they don't have to, but they Sacred Sword the Dialga, right? And I'm like, oh, it's Sacred Swords, which means I don't actually have to care about its speed control. I just bring out Cali, and the what is it? The Amoonguss has its Sash broke, and it can't Rage Powder away this Encore into Sacred Sword. Yeah, I remember that. I was like, ah, you messed up just a little bit, but you do be messing up out here. Yeah, because like realistically, like I couldn't have one-shotted the Zacian in this situation. Yeah, now we just chill. Doesn't matter if you use Spore or anything like that. I can just Encore you into Spore, and then eventually I'll wake up, and you can't Spore the Whims, so I win. Eventually, I will do enough damage. I guess they'd have to grind me down with Pollen Puff. I think it would take them like 8 Pollen Puffs, so I'd probably get a couple Astrals in before then. But yeah, I was thinking to myself like, and then oh yeah, they also protect her. They didn't even go for the Spore, so I can hit the Zacian with the Astral, and then I can Encore the Whims next turn, and so just like, or sorry, Encore the Amoonguss, and this is why Encore Whims is like really really good on this sort of team compared to something like a Tornadus, I think, or any other like Tailwind setter. I just think Whims with the Encore provides so much like late game potential. And no one respects the Encore anymore. Like, yeah, the Sacred Sword is a lot there, but like you can see, I can just double tap the Zacian, Encore the Amoonguss now. I can't ever even Spore. And then we win. And then all we do is win here. We don't even have to like have anything weird happen. And there's not that much they can do. Battle was canceled, and this guy's run back was denied once again. So we will be taking that all the way to the bank. This guy has Rayquaza. Holy Rayquaza and Umbreon, and I'm like, oh man, like literally, I'm more afraid of Umbreon and Gastrodon in their team than I am of the Ray. While dropping the sub, haven't caught you live in a while. Yo, thank you so much for stopping by. The Big Prime 39, thank you for that sub, my friend. Happy 4th of July. Whimsicott Zacian is their lead. Hopefully you're having a good time. Hope you're gonna be safe today. Hope everyone's safe tonight. But we see the Duraludon Dialga. We're going to try this once again. Going back at it. $55 donation! What is that? Get some dinner. Oh, man, I will. What do you want me to get? What should I get for dinner? I can't believe I just got a huge... That's a huge donation, by the way. That's an absolutely massive donation. Oh, my gosh. $55.83. I got some emotes for that. I do be having emotes for that. Let's put some... Ha! The gift emote. Yes. If I can use it correctly. Hold on. There. I used them. Holy moly, thank you so much! Really, oh man, what should I get for dinner? I could have anything now. That would just make me the happiest person. Well, thank you so much! $55. That's crazy. Like, realistically, like, we lost our stuff over the 20 sub gifts earlier. And this is, like, again, the same thing. Like, 55 staying alive. Oh, my gosh. You might as well just put subs up for that. You know, realistically, you might as well just put some subs up for that. $55. $55.83. Don't think I'm slacking on that 83. I know just how important it is. When I was, note that I switched in my Calian block to Sacred Sword because I'm literally the best there. When I was in college, I used to like measure out things in like the amount of like dollar menu items I could get. And so like that right there, that's like $55 menu items at wherever place I would go that's not McDonald's. Right? So it's like, oh man, you just tipped me 55 days worth of lunch. It's ridiculous. That's 2 months worth of lunch. In the year 2006. So I do be appreciated. My brain still works like that. So we do be taking those. Oh man, I'm gonna tell Kelly we have to get a nice dinner tonight. I'm excited for nice dinner tonight actually now. Oh man. So yeah, we We went for the Max Quake. It didn't KO. I actually went into Sacred Sword with the Dialga, but like I figured I would switch in the Cali just because it was strong too. They do take the bait this time, and that's great. It's great. I wanted them to do it last turn, but it's no big deal. Because we still saved our Dura in the back. I mean, it's on the board now, but you know how that is. We didn't want to lose our Cali. So we're trying our best. My currency is probably why the 83 is there. Yeah, you know what? 83 cents matters. It always matters. Change matters. That's what we need in today's world. We need more change, right? So this is the Ray, and I'm like, this freaking guy, man. He's trying to use Rayquaza out here. I don't know about this one. I think he has a Tailwind up, but like I don't know if I really care. Yeah, I think I just look at that Ray and I'm like, someone's KOing this Ray. I don't even think I had to double into it, realistically. But we do be doubling into it. Actually, so it's a funny story about this game. I didn't even want to play this game. I actually had to go take and do a coaching session. And instead of pressing B to like back out of the menu, I accidentally pressed A and queued up for one more game. And I was like, hold on real quick. I have a coaching session. And I was like, give me like 2 minutes, I'll just win, you know? And that's where this one came from. I don't remember where they go after. But Dura's out. Dura's a speedy boy. Did he Quake me? I think they Quaked the Dialga. Yeah. Ray so much, but I wish I had 10 to 15 more points base speed. I know, Mega Ray's good. Like, Mega Ray was, like, actually broken. Not just because it had, like, the speed, but, like, its ability was good. Like, Mega Ray was perfect. And we'll never get it back, you know? So Ray's about to be going down here. Big Wormwind. We didn't even need to go for the Draco Meteor there. I just wanted to do it in case it was Vested Ray, which I think would be a much better max option for them. Like if they Airstreamed there or Quaked. Also, the fact that we saw Quake means they still could have been like special. You never know. I think Ray's better special. That's just the best way to put it. Because that's a base 150 special attack and attack. And 1 Intimidate just turns the whole thing off. It's kind of built like Zekrom. It's just a little bit better special. And then here's the Umbreon, and I'm like, oh no. Not this Umbreon. I don't have the tools to beat this in the back, you know? I do not have the tools to deal with this. I'm looking at this board and I'm like, I gotta go for like the weird strats here. And they can totally just take out my Dialga. There's not that much I can do about it. But you guys will see what happens. You guys will see the majesty. Give me 1 sec. Alright. I was just checking my phone. But yeah, I think we bring the Whims in here just to unlock the Duraludon's ability to use like literally any other attack. We might have to like lock ourselves into Steel Beam, boys. There's the Moonblast into the Whim slot, which we definitely are fine with. And then the Snarl, right? I think Dialga lives it though because we're literally built different. Let's go, Dialga. And they should have just taken out the Dialga. They should have just foul played it, right? Should have just foul played it. But now we get to pop off Steel Beam Dialga. Let's go. Yeet. You see that damage, though? You see that Steel Beam? Oh, my gosh. It's so beautiful. Did you see it? Steel Beam. Oh, isn't that just pretty? I don't think anyone's ever used that move for that Pokemon. I bet a lot of people didn't even know Dialga got Steel Beam. Right? Like, everyone knows Duraludon gets it. But people don't think of Steel Beam on Dialga as an option. And sometimes it's the play, right? Sometimes it's the sauce. So in this situation, like, they have one more turn of Tailwind. So I think we just Tailwind to make sure we outspeed everything. I could also just Encore them, but, like, I'm trying to remember which one's better. I think that I want my Tailwind up just in case. And we just Astral to finish off the Umbreon. So yeah. And they go for the Cotton Spore, and so I'm also happy that I Tailwind it. Because if I didn't Tailwind... Right, if I went for... I mean, if I Encored, I would have been fine. But, actually, no, I wouldn't have. I would have been able to do that first. So, yeah, no, I had to Tailwind there. Because their Ember would have been able to outspeed and hit me with a Foul Play or a Snarl. So, Tailwind makes it so we're neutral, basically. And then we're basically just going to be able to win. But it was close. That was definitely a close one. And we needed the damage from the Steel Beam, I think. I think we needed the damage from the Steel Beam. So, very, very cool to see. And, yeah. Weird. Cotton Spore is starting to get a lot more popular. I'm not the biggest fan of it. I feel like if you're going to run like Cotton Spore Tailwind, just run Icy Wind Thundy, but that's just my opinion. I like Encore Wims way too much to ever forsake it, and like Switcheroo Wims to ever forsake it. So this guy, look at it. This guy has another Weezing team, and I was telling everyone that we're going to learn something about mechanics here that I did not know before this game. I did not know how Steel Beam worked in certain situations, and we're going to figure those situations out right now. I mean, in about like 5 minutes when we get to the point in the game where Steel Beam matters. But I'm thinking to myself, like, I do not have a good matchup versus like Weezing. Like, I just don't have the best Weezing matchup. And the last time I went for the full para into the Gigas, and I was rewarded. But I don't think that would ever realistically happen again. I can probably do something a little bit more defensive. I don't remember if I go Dialga this game. Yeah, Dialga Wims is much better. You just Tailwind over, and you just stick Wormwinds into the Gigas slot. It's a much safer way to do it. And if you want to go for Max Quake, you're Pocket My Policy. If Whimsicott is on a team, more times than not, it's outspeeding everything anyway. Cotton Spore is just greedy, in my opinion. That's the thing. It's like it double dips in situations where like you don't need that much more speed control. It's just giving more speed control to Wims. It's like the people that run Tornadus with Tailwind and Icy Wind. It's good in the situations where it's good, and when it's not good, it's a waste of a move slot that you could be using for Encore, that you could be using for Protect, that you could be using for Switcheroo or Fake Tears or any other move, right? Even the secondary attacking move. Having Giga Drain and Moonblast is good on Wims too. So they're obviously going to max their Gigas, and Gigas does normally outspeed Dialga, right? Gigas is base 100, so it's going to be a speedy boy. But we have Tailwind, and even though right now all the abilities are turned off, Whimsicott still just outspeeds Gigas. So like I can just Tailwind and stick a Wormwind into anything that I want. Realistically, I should probably Steel Spiking instead of Wormwinding, just because it lets me keep my boosts if any of these Pokemon like were to switch. Like if any of like I were to get KOs and stuff like that, so it's probably actually better to use Steel Spike here. But it is what it is. I don't think there's an issue. I think Wormwind's way cooler. Yeah, because wider. You know, you're definitely right. Like I definitely should just be using Steel Spike, but I'm not. It's okay. I'm bad. Wormwind's up. Yeet. Doesn't even break the Weezing. I'm so sad. I could have just doubled into that Weezing. SMH. And the Weezing also didn't protect, so I'm like, oh man, they're going after my Wims probably, right? And there's the Quake. So there's the Policy procs. Like literally, I could have just like not had this happen and been in a better spot. I could have not Tailwinded, soaked damage, Policy proc, one-shot the Weezing, and just been a happier camper. But it's fine. So special defense boost there. Note that they didn't Quake. Sorry, not Quake. They didn't Max Strike, so like I'm in a good spot. And there's the Sludge Bomb. Remember, 30% chance poison on Sludge Bomb. 30%. And I don't think they get it this time. Value Whimsicott. Absolutely massive value Whimsicott. Again, this turn I should have definitely Steel Spiked. Especially if I'm switching in. Like, I could have passed a defense boost to anything I switch in. If I do decide to switch in. I don't remember if I do. I think I don't switch in. Do I switch in? I think I'm trying to block a Max Strike. What's your main weakness policy proc? I have Brick Break on my Duraludon. Yeah. It's nice. It's really cool. I like it a lot. I'm a big fan. So yeah, I really should have Steel Spiked. And that's just because I'm not used to using a Steel Spike that's the same base power. Which generational gap had the largest impactful power creep? It's not any of the first few gens. I think the biggest power creep happened between Gen 4 and Gen 5. And the reason being is like before Gen 5, let's think of what special attackers and physical attackers we have. Yes, in Gen 4 we have Garchomp, we have Metagross, we have Salamence. In Gen 5 they just give us like Ramparados, Darmanitan, Terrakion, Skill Link Cloyster. What special attackers do we have in Gen 4? We have things like Porygon Z, Togekiss, Zapdos is still good, Gengar's still good. Gen 5, Volcarona. It's like to absolutely like Keldeo, like crazy special attack on these Pokemon with like good typing and good speed tier. It's ridiculous. So I think it's there's also a good argument to be made for Gen 6 Gen 7 because like Gen 6 is like, okay, we still have all this stuff from Gen 5. The boost from Gen 5 Gen 6 wasn't that big, but then from Gen 6 to Gen 7 we get like Ultra Beasts. And like Ultra Beasts are their own can of worms of like busted Pokemon themselves too. So and then from Gen 7 to Gen 8, Gen 8, like, that wasn't that big of a gap. The only, like, the DLC was a big power creep. Urshifu, with like Urshifu and Lucky and Rilla like are the only big things to take away from Gen 8, I think. What's our team? We're using Duraludon, Dialga, Calyrex, Lucky, Whimsicott, Indeedee. So in this situation, right, we're getting towards the later stages of the game here. And yeah, we're trying our best. I can't wait to show off the weird mechanic with Steel Beam that we're gonna see in a minute. Do you see what I'm doing here? Do you see what we're doing here? Are we tricking this turn? I know I trick a Choice Scarf onto the Gigas because now it's slow, right? And I was thinking to myself, like, I know the Kyogre is probably gonna protect or do something stupid. I don't really have to care about it. I'm gonna trick this Gigas and give it a Choice Scarf. And I wanted to take a good item. Sorry, not Choice Scarf, Choice Specs. And I take an Expert Belt. I'm like, I don't want a freaking Expert Belt. Give me a Life Orb. I know it wasn't Life Orb, but like, I thought I'd be taking a Vest. I thought that was vested. Because he didn't use any support moves up until that point. And he's like bulky, right? What's the best utility mon in all the games? It's Whimsicott. Whimsicott's the best. So now you finally stick your Max Strike, but like, I really wanted that Vest to make my Calyrex just a little bit bulkier against their Ogre. I also wanted to neuter the Gigas, right? Because now if we can tunnel the Gigas into using like the only attack it has to like hit the Cali, so like let's say we can make the Gigas use like a Dark Attack. Well, the Dark Attack's not that good versus Whims, and so that's a good switch in there and it's safe, right? So that was kind of my idea. I didn't want him being able to like, and if he wants to high horsepower the Dialga, it's not good against Whims, it's not that great against Cali, stuff like that. So I thought we'd be fine there. I guess I could have just went for the Astral. Another reason why you wanted to give him your Choice Specs is in case he had Wide Guard, he gets to pick Wide Guard once, and then we don't have to continually Astral, right? We can switch it up and go for like single target expandings and do other stuff like that, and basically just, once you lock the Gigas into a Wide Guard, you can just leave it alone for the whole game. So he actually had to choose that if he wanted a Wide Guard once or not. So I don't think there's a problem with giving him the specs in that situation, but it's fine. So Roar Time comes out. Probably didn't even need to Roar Time. Realistically, I probably could have got away with an Earth Power. I didn't think I'd do that much to the Ogre. So I probably, realistically, hindsight, I should have used Earth Power there. And he chooses the Lariat, right? Chooses the Lariat, but he's weak, so it's fine. But we can't eat any more. And so that's the move that he's chosen. Choice Specs, Gigas, Lariat is what we're going to see for the remainder of the game. And so I'm thinking I'm probably in a good spot here. Especially because I see that Palkia, and I'm like, I'm in a great spot here. I have a Duraludon in the back. I got a Whims in the back. I guess I got 4 Mons, you know. I got a slow-ass Calyrex that I can't keep on the board. And I'm thinking to myself, like, that Palkia has to be packing something pretty spectacular to be able to beat my Dialga, because we're still super bulky. So I think we're okay, but I do have to switch. I do have to switch out my Cali for something. I'm trying to remember if I go on Whims or not. I think I go into the Dura because it's fine. So we're going to try our best to KO their Palkia here. And I think I get Spatial Rend in the face, but it is what it is. So Spatial Rend does hit into my Dialga slot. And I'm not going to lie, I was surprised that KO'd. No crit! And then I was like, okay, it's Orb then, right? There's the Orb. Yeah, Illustrious Orb wouldn't have gotten the KO, I don't think. We're really bulky on the Dialga. And then we obviously soak the damage from a Darkest Lariat, Lamau, easy peasy. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, I can just go Draco into this Palkia, and I win the game. I could. I definitely could. There's nothing saying that I can't do that. I could probably actually just go, like, Astral Thunder into the Palkia and win the game. But I want to mess around a little bit. I want to experiment with some stuff. I want to send this one out in style, because they only got these 2 Mons left. And if the Palkia goes for like a Protect turn and they steal a kill on my Calyrex, like, that'd kind of suck. But, you know, it is what it is. I think you have to go for this. I think you have to get the Palkia off the board and respect it. Pokemonkey dropping the sub, 7 months. How you been? How you been? Tier 1. Go for the big Draco, just to seal it up. I guess I could have literally clicked like expanding and had a better play there, or like Hyper Beam or something. Who is motive for Duraludon? Someone just left a comment on the YouTube video. A way we've been doing it is if you want to see me use a Pokemon, leave a comment on the newest YouTube video. The one with the most votes gets in the video. That's pretty much it. Did I miss the giveaway? No, the giveaway is going to happen in just after 2 more games. But yeah, you see, I should have just attacked the Gigas with like an Expanding Force or a Hyper Beam. This is the last turn rain, it doesn't really matter. And also, Gigas now has its act together, and I'm like, crap. He's Speedy Boy now. not that speedy. We still outspeed him with all our Mons. But I'm like, crap, I should probably reset this Dura and, you know, figure out what I want to do here. How do you throw here if you're me is the question. The answer may surprise you. The answer may surprise you. So here we are. Go for big expanding. Yeet. Could have had one of those last turn. He goes for a Lariat. I think he hits the Whimsy, right? Am I wrong? Yeah. Takes out the Whims, and I was like, oh, that's surprising, but not wrong. And then I bring back in my Dura, right? And so you're thinking to yourself, like, expanding Draco, you win, right? Or even, like, Hyper Beam Draco, you win right there. Or, like, Steel Beam, Hyper Beam, you win right there. Just watch what happens. I go for the expanding, and I'm like, I'm gonna click Steel Beam. I would like to use this move, because I still need it for the freaking YouTube thumbnail, and I haven't used it yet. Why have Steel Beam if I'm never gonna freaking use it? So, we use Steel Beam, and it did a lot. And so I'm thinking to myself, like, crap, I could have just Hyper Beamed to this turn. You know, if Hyper Beam would have literally just killed this guy. Right? Hyper Beam, he would be dead. He'd be gone. Right? And then, of course, you guys know how this works with Steel Beam, right? So the thing about Steel Beam is, unlike all the other sort of recoil moves in the game, like you're going to see, I Steel Beam here, he takes all the damage. His health bar is 0. It's 0. I saw it. And then mine's 0. And then he faints, and I'm like, what the hell? Why did I faint? He went to 0 first. He literally went to 0 first, and then I lose, and then I'm like, fuck. I thought that it would... I didn't know that, like, your health... Like, I hit you to 0 first, and literally, like, every other gen, that would mean that you win. Like, if you KO someone with, like, a Flare Blitz and take recoil, you get the KO first, you win. You know? But not with Steel Beam. Not with Steel Beam. And so, betrayed by the Choice Scarf. I know, right? I shouldn't have thrown that one, but, like, I learned something new. I literally learned something new. I learned that Steel Beam's, like, the worst move in the game. Even though I knocked them out first, it happens. Whoever faints first is considered the loser. But, you saw me hit them! Their health bar went to 0, and they just stood there! I was like, what? Literally never lucky, you know? I mean, it's just how it's coded. You know, it's not really coded as like a recoil move. It's like a requirement. It's like in Yu-Gi-Oh! You have to like pay a cost. It's like discard 1 card from your hand or pay 1,000 life points. If you can't pay the 1,000 life points, you die, you know? It's like premature burial, right? It's a cost to activate. But it doesn't, you wouldn't think that it was. And you know what? I would have known that if I freaking hit the Steel Beam in the first game. Because I didn't know. Because I didn't see, like, how damage was... The order that damage was done with Steel Beam on Duraludon. I wasn't, like, forced to, like, realize it. So look at this. I just want to show this game. Look at this. Look at this damage. Bruh. Would Mind Bone work the same? I think so. But do you see that damage? Yeah, doesn't it do 50% even if you miss? Yes. Also, unlike things like Mind Blown, which takes like 50%, you could manipulate it to where you can use like 3 of them, I think, to where it'll put you at an odd number. It doesn't work with Steel Beam. That little trick doesn't work with Steel Beam. It'll always 2-shot you. But yeah, can you believe that damage on Zacian? Like, for all the cool stuff we're doing through Ludon and Dialga and all that stuff, people have to respect Indy Cali. You can just come out and go, they're gone. They're gone. I think it would look different with animations off. Yeah. Like, they were off, you'd faint first. Probably. Oh, you're definitely right. Yeah. But I hit them to 0. Don't say that I didn't. I definitely did. I could have Draco'd in those situations. Like, there's no way I could have lost that one other than the Steel Beam, but it was still funny. So we redirect the foul play. Easy peasy. And yeah, Cali's still pretty busted. Still pretty busted. And then the Pharaoh goes down. Never lucky Ferrothorn, right? Poor this guy. One-shot Zacian, like one-shots Ferrothorn. It's like, bruh. There's just so much damage from this team. Now they get a max Ogre, but like we literally have like Lucky Kali, you know? Yo, how's it going? I'm thinking about maxing. I'm like, nah, it's fine. We're good. We're golden. Easy cancel. Speaking of recoil, it's very gratifying to have an Archeops Oko, a Dynamax Charizard, and drop to recoil. I agree, it's funny. This guy has, like, a cool team. I think this is a cool team. Dusclops is cool. Ditto's going to be really hard. Ditto's like this team's worst nightmare. If you copy the Alecki, I have no more speed control. If you copy the Shadow Rider, I just lose. So yeah, Ditto's really, really hard to play against with this team. But it's definitely possible. You just have to weave in your mons on like the right spot and play around ally switch. So they can't like... You don't want to get KOs until you're damn well ready to get the KO because you don't want them to send out Ditto and copy your Shadow Rider. So it's really, really hard. But we do have ways to play around this. You like this anti-ally switch tech? Ooh, I love it. I absolutely love it. This guy is leading and he gets like the big frisk and he sees fear, right? How scared are you when you're leading and you frisk double choice item guy? Like, oh man. So like finally, it's time for some big G-Max depletion. And let's just pop off. Yep. Trick Room? What's that? Never heard of it. What are you gonna do? Huh? What are you gonna do? You gonna use Trick Room? Good luck. You gotta switch. That guy's would go down if you didn't switch it. So Indy comes in. Good mon to bring in. What are you gonna use? Follow me next turn? I doubt it. I do be doubting it. Thanks for the terrain, by the way. Protects me from Shadow Sneak later. And the big G-Max Dura. I didn't want to miss my Draco. I also wanted to max this guy for once. And I think we KO the Dialga, even if they max, but realistically they want Trick Room, right? And we're just like, Trick Room, no. You can take that Trick Room somewhere else. So big Dura. Skyscraper complete. And they do max, okay. Well, that means they don't get Trick Room, which means we're still fine. What are you gonna do? Use Follow Me next turn? Never heard of it. Yo, what up? Not much. Big building. Why G-Max? Because Dialga... So first of all, we don't need... we don't want to proc Defiance if we can. But also, like, we're pairing it with the Pressure Dialga that we have. And so we can just use it to just, like, PP stall. Look at this. Look at that damage. Do you see that damage, by the way? Crit Specs Astral. Look at that. That's so big. And I'm thinking to myself, like, are you Vest Dialga? Or are you just like a Life Orb or something weird? Like, it doesn't really matter. Like, it really doesn't. They also don't get the KO because we maxed. So it's nice. Like, they're super bulky. They don't have, like, points in offense, really. They might have nature, but I doubt it. You know? So they get a Spadef boost there. And I'm like, what are you gonna do? You go follow me, bro? I was thinking about... Don't hit the Entity. Actually, do I hit Entity there? That's not bad to hit Entity there. Because, like, I need to stick damage on that Entity with something. Because I will... No, just get the Dialga off the board, me. Come on. Come on. Past me. Get the Dialga off the board. We know that Entity wants to click follow me. We know. I know it. I can literally see it. Show me the follow me. Bruh. Where are you looking, huh? Stalwart. Stalwart. I agree. It would be kind of busted, I think. And so I'm fine with what it is now. Duraludon. Finishing blow. Follow me? I never even heard of it, yo. Nice. Oh, yeah. So good. So good. Big G-Max Duraludon. Somebody had to use it. What a cool Pokemon. And so they have like Dusclops Urshi. And I'm like, ooh, Urshi. And then I'm like, wait, I'm not afraid of this. You said Psychic Terrain. Like, I'm still kind of afraid because I'm not sashed. So, like, if you're scarfed, I'd be afraid. But, like, I'm not that afraid. Do I just still click Astral? I should... That's such a greedy Astral. Holy moly. Well, it's a win-win, because, like, the Sash is somewhere, right? And we're breaking it. Did I not Steel Spike again? I really should have if I didn't this turn. Is this mixed with Pressure Monster on the team? It is, yeah. Steel Spike. See, that's a good Steel Spike turn. Good me. Good job, me. I'm learning from my mistakes. Not that you really need, like, defense boosts against, like, Urshi Dark. But, like, just, it's smarter. There's no reason to go for the other one, you know? Mystical Fire. Getting taken out. And it's actually good that we got taken out there, I think. I mean, I would have been Scarfed and then been able to outspeed and been a bully. And just finish him off. Because, like, what we want to do is break Sash, then regain speed control and just outspeed. But now that we know he's not Scarfed, we don't care, you know? I was afraid of Scarf Urshi Wicked blowing my Cali, and I'm just not afraid of it now. No, we're using Pressure Dialga on this team. And I think Dialga is a good teammate for Duraludon. I think Duraludon's a cool guy. And so, basically, there's not that much more they can do here, I don't think. I don't think there's that much more they can do. I'm trying to remember, though. I think the game goes like a couple more turns than I want it to, but it's fine. There's nothing that the entity can really do. Because like they set the Psychic terrain, I don't have to worry about Sucker Punch. Steel Dragon is legit bulky typing. It's one of the best typings of the game. Yeah, they switch out. Oh, they still have Dusclops. Yeah, they still have Dusclops, which is why I think I've stayed in with this Calyrex so much. Like, they still have the Clops, and so we still have to, like, hit that thing with Astrals. That's why we're just chilling. So, Electro Web's up. Yeet. Get that Dusclops out of here. That's a bulky entity, too. And he's trying to wait out his own Psychic terrain, I think. But look at that AoE, baby. That's a +1 on that Calyrex. Critical hit, like, ugh, can't believe I got a crit. I'm like a Specs Astral Barrage. Yeet. Didn't even need it. There's the Mystical Fire into the Lecky. They were trying to break Sash. If it was Sash, it's not. So it's still the right target. I would say that's still the right target. Because they know the item on the Cali was the Spec, so they know they don't have to break Sash on it. So they're going to come with the Urshi. I think they pop a Protect. There's not that much I can realistically do here, but it should still be fine. Because I don't actually remember if I win this game, but I think we have the right tools to deal with it. Because we can one-shot the Urshi right now. If we just stand with Cali, we can one-shot it. With an Astral. Yeah, I don't think there's anything wrong with just sticking some damage into the entity. And also, I'm running out of Astral PP. That's another thing. Oh, man. Yeah, there's the Protect Urshi, which is absolutely fine. I think it is the right play. And then we have to watch out for Sucker Punch. But it's not the end of the world. A little bit more damage on NDD. I'm about to be taking more damage from Life Orb than I deal back to it. That's going to be scary. And I don't think there's a reason to switch out the Cali. Like, I think Cali's, like, really required to force the Urshifu to play a very specific way. And so this is a weird-looking turn state right here. What would you do in this situation if you were me? Like, would you attack something, or would you play defensive? Do you think they're going to go for the Sucker Punch on the Cali, or the Sucker Punch on the Lecky? Because that's the 50-50, right? You could go for the Sucker Punch on the Cali, but if I switch it here, you're wasting a turn Sucker Punching. And you can just get the Lecky off the board. It's hard to say, right? Follow Me. I think Follow Me and Wicked Blow is a good play this turn. Realistically. They went for the Sucker. And it's going to fail. That's why I would have Wicked Blowed. Well, it's hard to say. Sucker Punch is fine. Follow Me Sucker Punch is good too. I think there's nothing wrong with hitting the Cali because you're respecting your ability to not automatically like lose the game. And now in this situation, like they have to like start low-key respecting Thunder, but we're gonna protect the Lecky just to elongate the board state just a little bit so we can double tap the NDD with Whims, and then we're gonna create a situation where we have like Lecky Cali and Urshifu can't stop all of it. So we're just trying to stop Sucker Punch in this situation. Yep, we're baiting out a Protect just in case. And we should be able to two-shot the NDD even after like a Mystical Fire. If they did want to Mystical Fire it, we would still avoid it for the most part. We're not going to die because there's our Sash just in case they crit or something weird. And so now, Sucker Punch wouldn't KO our Wims, but it'll still KO our Lecky, and I don't want to lose the Lecky. And I was thinking to myself, even if I lose the Lecky, I still have the Wims, I'll be fine. But I need to have as many Pokemon in this late game as possible to wait out these Sucker Punches. So, like, as cool as it would be to get a KO on the Entity with Electro Web, I feel like I can just protect the Lecky and go for a Protect Fail. I think that's what I do. I think I Protect Fail just to not die to Sucker Punch, and then create as many bodies as possible the Urshifu has to go through to win. And I think it's a smart play. Because the Urshifu's protects on cooldown too, right? So he has to be attacking something, which means you know he's going to go Sucker, right? And he wouldn't have been able to KO Wim. So we finish off the Indeedee. We have our Lecky still on the board. And we're also like wasting Sucker Punch PP. So it's like it's still really, really good play, I would say. And now that the Indeedee's gone, like there's no more redirection involved. Like there's so many different things we can do to win this one. And so at this point we can attack if we feel like it. Do I Hyper Beam? Yeah, do it. Do it, me. Hyper Beam. Is there a reason to Tailwind? There's no reason not to Tailwind, I don't think. Yeah, they just scoop it up. So we're just trying to wait out the PP on Sucker Punch at that point. And that's the wins. We won. We G-Maxed our Dura that game, guys. We G-Maxed our Dura, and we were able to win. So hopefully you liked the G-Max Duraludon action. We policy procced our Dialga a few times with Brick Break. We got some KOs on opponents. We got some KOs on ourselves with Steel Beam. And it was a cool team. I had a lot of fun with it.